relationship is with the community, because now you guys finally do have like a place that you're here, La Marqueta, and so now you're here to stay. So what's the relationship like with the community?
We love them. I mean, you know, it's, for us, it's like we're so happy to have a home, and I think that whenever there's change or whenever a new outside organization comes into a community, there's going to be a little bit of pushback because we're from Brooklyn, but we sort of felt like we didn't have a home, and Harlem was our first home. So I think that, you know, we moved in and started doing what we do, which is creating jobs, training women, baking delicious bread, and I think that that's a pretty easy value proposition to any community. So we have a community advisory board that's great, that's just sort of business owners, council members, and nonprofit heads that help us sort of strategize about our communications and how to best serve the community, and they've been really helpful. We have a full-time community liaison who works on recruitment and partnership building, and so that's been really great.
Just out of curiosity, what do you hope for the future of Population? What do you see it going?
I see it becoming a national, if not multinational, organization that helps thousands of women every year start their own business. I think that we definitely have plans for expansion to open additional sites, and we're working on the research for that right now. And I think that, you know, in addition to creating jobs and increasing access to the food industry, it's also about changing the cultural perception of women and of immigrants around the country. These are not people that have to be marginalized or relegated into low-wage paying jobs. These are business owners, these are heads of corporations, and I think that with the little bit of skill and job training we provide, it's just training these women to leverage those like inherent talents to open access to their professional career.
So what about the actual business model? I mean, how do you survive day to day? What are the like kind of economic challenges that you have? Is it hard to run the business? You know, you're a nonprofit, so tell me a little bit about why you call it a social enterprise and how that works in terms of economic sustainability.
Sure. So we're a 501c3, so we're a nonprofit organization, but I think that we're actually stronger than most nonprofits because of the diversity of our funding streams. We're not beholden to any one funder. So if we don't get this big federal grant, we're not going to go under. Our long-term vision is sustainability through bread sales. So right now we have the majority of our operations are supported through the sale of our breads, but we still rely on some philanthropic funding that's really focused in key areas like education and some specific training pieces. But I think that it's a brilliant model that I think can be applied to many other businesses, and I'm interested to see where that goes.
But you teach, I mean, for the women, you're teaching them entrepreneurship. So, what's your vision of entrepreneurship for them? To become nonprofits or to become for-profit businesses?
I think whatever makes sense for their business model, whatever their business model is. I mean, for women who we place in positions, they'll be managers, and for women who transition to our incubator, they'll launch their own food business. So I think that there's a specific set of rules and regulations that go on with food businesses, but I think that our goal is to model best practices, whether it be for a nonprofit or for-profit, that can be taken by women and expanded to their own models.
You were going to ask about local and organic.
Oh yes. Do you source your ingredients locally?
You have to do it a little louder.
Oh, sorry. Do you source your ingredients locally?
So we try our best to incorporate as many local and organic ingredients in all of our products. We're in the New York City green market system, and as a requirement of the green market system, a certain percentage of all of your ingredients and all your products has to be within, I think it's 150 miles is their definition of local. So we definitely partner with local farms for corn, for some of our flours. We do a seasonal focaccia that's topped with local ingredients that change. You know, the green markets have been an amazing revenue stream for us, but it's also been a great way to connect with farmers and other local providers to incorporate their goods into our products.
How has it been with the retail store open for only a few weeks now? How's it going?
It's great. It's great. I'm so excited. I think that for me, going back to the community question, it's like we were here for some time with no retail outlet in Harlem, and we couldn't, not that we didn't have any Harlem restaurants selling our bread either. So I think that was, people were participating in our program, but if they didn't know directly about our program, they would walk in and sort of see all this bread and smell all this bread, but not be able to buy it, which I think is just a cruel joke. And so now we have many Harlem retailers, and we partnered with the Upper Manhattan Empowerment Zone, UMEZ, and they helped us to build out that space. And I think it's been great. I mean, this response has been overwhelmingly positive from the community of like, oh, you're those people who are back there, and like, let me taste this product. And it's been a great way to, talk to the community about our programs and enroll people.
So you have, you started 3 years ago, and Jessamine was here and one full-time staff person, and you were an intern.
Yeah, it was I think we had a part-time staff person and a full-time AmeriCorps Vista volunteer.
Oh.
She was paid by the federal government and worked more than full-time. And that's Robin. So Robin's still here, and our business development manager.
How many people do you have now that are full-time and part-time employees?
So totally about 40. And it changes because the bread market is seasonal and we are a training program. So we are graduating people as we go. And obviously, there are certain seasons where we'll need more drivers or more packers. So I think that one of the benefits of the program is not only are we hiring just baking training, but we also have an increasingly growing administrative staff and support staff in the bakery.
And so, how's the business going? Let's talk about what the products are. What do you guys create? What do you make? And what are your best-selling items? And who buys them?
So we bake about, I want to say, 25 different products, and it's an international line of bread that is really inspired by the women in our training programs. So not every bread has a woman that corresponds to it. Many of the women in the program have never baked before, but just really have a passion for bread and want to start a career in the culinary industry. But one of our most popular products is msemen, which is a Moroccan flatbread that was a recipe brought to us by one of our bakers, and it was a bread she had made for her family since she was 12 years old. And we brought it to scale, and it's one of our most popular products. We sell it at all of our green markets. It was recently picked up by restaurant, Danielle Bluth's new restaurant, Bluth Sud, and it's in their bread basket, and people love it. So that's one product. The other most popular product, to sort of show the diversity of the line, is a multi-grain loaf, which is like very simple, uses local grains, local wheat, but it's really delicious and the perfect sandwich bread, and people love it. And when we graduate from the program, now they know how to make msemen and multi-grain loaf, which is valuable skills.
Are you getting that?